ridiculous. You've got at least like a solid like color.
Man, I feel like Taylor's got the beard, but it's Aqua may have the mustache.
See, I like how I respect the dedication to that style of mustache because I like the overhang look, but having to go like every time you drink anything or eat anything, like I feel like a goop. Like I remember one time I didn't shave my mustache this was like 8 years ago, a long time ago, and I was really wanting to go Western with it. And I remember like I was gonna order a burger at a restaurant, and I decided not to because of the thought of eating it. And the second I was making those sorts of decisions based on facial hair, I ditched it.
Yeah. So I noticed you guys on recording this, you're blowing right through dinner time here. Let me tell you, I was just shoveling some food into my mouth right before this show and trying to eat as fast as I could. And let me tell you, I had to remove several objects from this before coming on the camera here. It's not great. Splendid. Thanks.
I think Taylor's is
right about dinner time.
I think Taylor's is more coiffed, but Aqua's gives off more of a rustic ambiance. When I see Aqua's beard, I think that guy knows how to build a wood burning stove. Of course he does. I
don't know how to do any of that.
Axes. That guy's axes are sharp. You look like an.
He looks like he knows how to use an axe. I look like I'm a douchebag who goes axe throwing.
Yep,
like, that's exactly what it is.
That's it.
I am a douchebag who goes axe throwing, though. It's actually pretty fun.
I've been axe throwing. It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Jackie and I did it. My wife did it.
Yeah, you're right about dinner time thing because these guys are East Coast, and so it's a little later for them. They have their dinner normal time before. About halfway through this show, every single Thursday, an internal argument starts about whether or not I should order food for after the show. And I'm on a bad run, boys. Like I bet the past like 3 weeks in a row, I've had a pizza waiting for me afterward. And I think I'm a pizza or something else. By pizza, I mean something delivered. Chinese food.
Pizza doesn't wait for anyone. Let's get that straight. Okay. Pizza's here. What? Motherfucker. All right. I'm turning to shit. I'm done. Like pizza's got like a 15-minute expiration date once it's at your house.
Well, I get thin crust pizza. Heart healthy.
I usually
heart healthy. Tell me about your healthy
the
pizza.
problem.
Heart healthy, low fat pepperoni. I bet that's not even a thing.
Yeah,
somebody
that heart healthy meat lovers.
Do you
pizza.
buy your lies? Do you?
No.
I order a lot. I don't think there's anything ordering gets a bad rap. Like, oh, you ordered out, huh? You couldn't cook. You can cook the most indulgent things ever. When I was just about to go to prison, like the weeks before, I was making these like shrimp and filet mignon and lobster bowls. Like. When I order, I usually get hibachi though, and it's because it's just grilled chicken and grilled steak and white rice.
That's
what you get is not hibachi. It's not hibachi without that sinful.
I throw the sauce away, man. I special write no sauce, big exclamation, like I'm allergic to it or something because I can't resist it. But sriracha's like a close 8th place behind Yum Yum sauce. The sauce is called Yum Yum sauce. You can't.
Yeah, it's just fat.
You can't beat that.
Do you order food entirely too much as well, Aqua?
Yeah. I feel bad about it too. I maybe we shouldn't feel so bad about it, but yeah, I do. And I always order like too much, I feel like, because for 2 reasons. One, because my eyes are bigger than my tummy most of the time, I'll be honest. But also, I feel bad if I order just like one like portion. Like I feel like it doesn't deserve to be delivered unless it's so I'll add something else to the order and like save it for later or something.
Oh, I've done,
or just eat it all because I'm gross. But I feel bad ordering like a reasonable amount of food for some reason.
Yeah. Have you ever done that where you're like, I'll get 2 entrees and I can eat 1 tomorrow or later?
Yeah.
It's never for tomorrow or later.
I usually eat both.
I just look at it as a shortcut. like one of the more disgusting, the embarrassing thing I order is this. When I can't be bothered to make dinner that like hits a macro, whatever, Applebee's, believe it or not, at 1 a.m, 2 a.m, when I'm 1 a.m, 2 a.m, or whatever, you can order Applebee's and you can get a sirloin steak. So there's no fat on that motherfucker, and a big pile of mashed potatoes with no butter and broccoli. And it'll be at your house in 20 minutes and it costs $13.
No.
And I can't beat that. I can't even buy that and cook it that cheap. And when it gets here, it's not great, but it's not gross.
Kyle's winning me over. I was about to say nothing. If you buy prepared food, it's bad for you. It always is. Everything at the restaurant I get is bad for me. Kyle's cracking the code a little bit here.
There's a bunch of them like that. The hibachi thing is the other one. Like, there's not too many ways to order food from places.
If you're going to continue to call that contraption with no sauce on it hibachi,
chicken and rice,
I don't think we can be friends anymore.
All right,
hibachi in and of,
sneaky chicken and rice. I'll call it that.
I've ordered and had hibachi delivered. They have that huge square plastic thing with all the different compartments and everything. And I don't eat the yum sauce either, but the rice, like the fried rice they include,
no fried rice.
It's got to be. Oh, you don't even treat yourself to that.
You have to have the steamed rice.
I know.
If you go fried rice, you've broken the whole system.
I know.
If I
I'm already
said I buy
bad.
pizza, but I skip out on the bread and the sauce, you'd say that's not pizza.
Rice is the luxury. If you're on like a restrictive diet, you're like, ooh, I get a cup and a half of rice at this meal. Can you believe it? A cup and a half. And when you look at what a cup and a half of rice looks like on a plate, like, it's not a lot of rice. It's not. I remember when I gave Dirty's a friend of ours.
Easy fix for that. Just measure it before you cook it.
Dirty's like 5'6", maybe 150 pounds, but he was trying to get fit. And I gave him this diet, and it involves lots of rice. Like, every meal, your carbohydrates are rice. And when you cook rice, it increases like 3-fold in volume. So 1 cup of uncooked rice turns into 3 cups of rice. It's consumable, cooked rice. And he didn't realize that, so he was eating like 9 cups of rice a day.
You didn't know how rice worked?
He messaged me and he was like, "Dude, I don't know what to do. You're telling me at every meal a cup of rice, and I'm trying, man. I'm trying so hard, but I can only get like 3/4 of the way through it." And I'm like, "I don't understand, man. I'm thinking, this guy's kind of a bitch. He can't eat a little." First of rice is this little handful of rice. Like, I've eaten out with him before. I've been to restaurants. He didn't struggle, and then we finally came to it. He'd been eating huge bowls of rice, just woks full at a time with every meal. So
dude, that is on him. That he repeatedly stared at a salad bowl full of rice and was like, "This is what Kyle wants."
Yeah.
Dude, you gotta
A lot of carb.
Yeah,
that'll bind them up for sure.
Only one macro that matters: protein. Fats and carbs will come on their own. Just hit your protein, stay in your calorie limit. I've solved dieting.
Sometimes I can hit my carb limit in a day for like a week. Like
I can hit my carb limit in a day. That's how all the limits work, Taylor. They don't go over the course.
On my weekly limit in a day.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, you're absolutely right but in as much as that, the carbs are the thing where you're going to have to be like, oh, less. That's how much I get. Whereas the meat thing is always going to be more. Yeah, I could have a little more. It's protein. It's a whole different calorie.
That's better for you anyway. And meat actually fills you up way better than any.
I want to know the true science on the calories required to digest calories. Like the net caloric base. So proteins, and it makes sense if your body has to dissolve and decombine a chunk of steak. That's harder to do to get those proteins than it would be if you had some black beans, for example, like turned into refried beans. That's basically mush. That's easy to turn into proteins, right? So,
yeah, as you know,
one of them leaves
something like steak. About a third of those calories are consuming it, if that makes sense. Yeah. And if it's something like sugar, that's your body will turn all that into fat.
So efficiently.
And the tougher the steak, you could argue.
Right?
Like,
burn it.
Whenever
make it like a tire.
I remember in the Dances with Wolves when they killed the big buffalo and they cut its tongue out right there, like it just died, and now its tongue. And the guy offered, and it's the best part apparently, and he offers that tongue to what's his name, Kevin Costner, and he's just like, whoo. He knows he's gonna bite it because he's got to be one of the boys, but he's just fuck. Oh, and it's just the toughest bite you've ever had. Imagine biting through a buffalo's tongue.
They cooked it bad.
I don't know. Bit my own tongue a bunch of times. Kind of excel.